Let me tell you, I never thought a scrawny new girl from Detroit would be the one to flip the whole system at Lincoln High upside down, yeah. I said it because that's exactly what happened, and I watched it unfold like something out of a movie, except it was painfully, gloriously real. First day, fog still heavy over Maplewood, Ohio, and Emily Harris quiet. Average, hair pulled back, wearing clothes you wouldn't remember 2 minutes after she walked in and tried her best to disappear. Problem is, some folks just can't hide what's burning inside them. You know what I mean? Now, no one in that lunchroom knew Emily was a Michigan junior MMA champ, 4 years of sweat and blood, all muscle and grit hidden under those plain jeans except maybe her mom, Dr. Sarah Harris, who begged her, let's just be a normal family here, honey, clean slate and all that. And for a while, Emily tried. She sat alone at lunch, poked at her sandwich, and hoped if she kept her head down, trouble would pass her by. But trouble has a way of sniffing out the ones who don't want it. In this case, it looked like Brad Thompson, a linebacker with a mouth as big as his shoulders flanked by his cronies, Colin Jake, who strutted up like they owned the place. Detroit, huh? They sneered. You think you're better than us? Emily just said, nice to meet you. She tried to keep it simple, but Brad wasn't having it. He leaned in real close, said, newbies pay $5 a day protection, money otherwise. Things get rough for city kids. She could have ended it right there. One hit Brad down for the count. But a promise is a promise, and she'd told her mom she'd play it quiet. That night, lying awake, Emily counted out the costs, not just the money, but the slow grind of letting people like Brad run wild. She'd seen it before, and she knew it'd only get uglier if she didn't push back. Sure enough, Tuesday morning, Brad pressed her for payment. I'm not paying you, she said just like that. And the whole thing escalated, tripped in the halls. Soup dumped in her lap in front of half the school. Laughter echoing off the walls. Anyone else might have broken, but Emily just clenched her jaw. She called her old coach in Detroit, Master Johnson, who told her, sometimes secrets are dangerous. If you act, do it smart. Never hurt more than you have to. So Emily made her plan, waited for a moment, and found Brad alone in the parking lot after practice. She squared up, cool as ice, and threw down the challenge. 1-on-1, right here. If you win, I pay double. If I win, you leave me alone for good and apologize to the whole school. Brad, laughing, agreed. I'm telling you, that fight, if you can call it that, lasted all of 30 seconds. Brad's punch whiffed. Emily's left slammed into his solar plexus like a freight train. He hit the asphalt, gasping for air, and for the first time, I think he realized that sometimes the quiet ones are the ones you really have to worry about. She let him up, didn't rub it in, just laid out the rules. Apologize, or next time I won't go so easy. You get to choose. Brad, to his credit, made the right call. Next morning, he stood up in the hallway, apologized in front of everyone, and from then on, it was like the whole school breathed easier. Even Brad's crew stopped bullying the younger kids. Heck, Brad started breaking up fights himself. But you want a real twist? A week later, Jessica Martin, one of the most popular girls, came up to Emily with a problem. There are boys from West Side who keep harassing us at the bus stop after school. Can you help? Emily could have said no, could have played it safe. Instead, she went with them that afternoon, waited on the bench, and when the West Side boys showed up cocky loud, thinking they owned the world, she gave them a lesson they'd never forget. 5-on-1. Didn't matter. Emily moved like water, one down with an elbow, another with a punch. The ringleader Travis took a knee to the face and found out real quick that small town doesn't mean easy target. After that, the girls at Lincoln High walked tall, and bullies gave them a wide berth. But, as with any story, things got complicated. The news of Emily's bus stop showdown spread, and pretty soon, she was teaching self-defense to half the schoolgirls, boys, even a few teachers. Principal Anderson noticed, made it official, turned her after-school club into part of the curriculum. Word got out, Emily's face showed up in the local paper, stories on TV, and, the haters started crawling out of the woodwork. When Travis from West Side got himself arrested for assault months later, his high-powered dad tried to pin blame on Emily, said she provoked his boy. It all blew up, media, lawyers, the whole 9 yards. But Emily stood her ground in court, told her story straight, didn't sugarcoat it, didn't apologize for standing up for herself, and others. It took the jury 20 minutes, not guilty. The courtroom erupted. Kids hugged her, her mom cried, and the judge even cracked a smile. After that, Emily's classes filled up, her reputation grew, and she realized sometimes the hardest thing isn't fighting back. It's letting people see who you really are, scars and all. A year went by, and that quiet girl from Detroit became student council president, led the charge to ditch the old pecking order at school, replace punishment with reconciliation, showed everyone, bullies and victims alike, that it's possible to be strong without being cruel. She kept getting letters from kids all over. One, from a girl in Texas named Maria, said, "After I read about you, I found the courage to say, 'Leave me alone,' and for the first time, they did." That's when Emily knew her calling wasn't just fighting, but teaching others to fight for themselves. But life isn't done with you just because you've earned some peace. One night, Travis's father, drunk and furious, came after her on the street. Emily handled it, called the cops, but it shook her up. She worried not just for herself, but for her friends and students, for anyone who might get caught in the crossfire because of her reputation. Her mom told her, "You're not just strong because you can fight, honey, you're strong because you care what happens to other people." Graduation day, Emily stood in front of the school top of her class, head held high, cap and gown shining under the auditorium lights, and told everyone, "Don't hide your talents. Don't be afraid to be strong. If you see someone getting bullied, don't walk by. Be the change you want to see." Brad, now headed to college to become a social worker, shook her hand, thanked her again. "Maybe you showed up here because we needed you," he said, and maybe he was right. Emily went on to college, then opened her own center for young leaders, teaching kids that real strength isn't about fists, it's about courage, about stepping up when no one else will, about refusing to let fear or hate or the past write your story for you. She became a legend in Maplewood. Her picture hung in the Lincoln High gym, captioned, "She taught us that true strength is the willingness to protect others," and every new class heard her story, learned that being a hero isn't about being born special. It's about choosing every single day to take that first step. So, here's what I want to know: if you were in Emily's shoes, would you fight back? Or try to disappear? Where do you draw the line between self-defense and going too far? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about what real courage looks like in our world, and who gets to decide what's right.